Before we start today's show, I want you to embrace debate, get into the comment section, and I want to hear from you. What is the best Philadelphia Eagles jersey? Because we're going to be previewing this game against the Green Bay Packers on the program today, and the Birds going to be debuting their brand new black helmets and wearing those awesome, clean, icy black jerseys. So what is the best Eagles jersey? I want you to type M for midnight green, W for the white jerseys, or B for the black unis. Let me know right now in the comment section. And here's a look at those new black Philadelphia Eagles helmets. That rule by the NFL that only allowed teams to have one solo helmet never made sense. You get to sell more jerseys if you have multiple helmets. And finally, they lifted that rule, which allows the Birds to rock those black jerseys, black tops, black pants, with a black helmet. Previously, when they rocked those threads, it was with the midnight green helmet. So the stage is set for Sunday Night Football. We'll be doing a watch party for this game, by the way, right here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Subscribe and join us. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, they're desperate right now. 4-7 on the season. Rodgers dealing with a major injury potentially that we'll unpack here in just a couple of moments. They need a win to save their playoff destiny. The Philadelphia Eagles, on the other hand, have the Tennessee Titans coming up in 2 weeks, and they're trying to secure and lock down that number one seed to get home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. And in this game, 7-point favorites with the over-under set at 46.5. Come hang out with us for our watch party. Our pregame show on Sunday night will start at 7:50 p.m. Eastern. That's 30 minutes before kickoff. When you do hit that subscribe button, if you haven't already done so, and for those of you who haven't done it, hit that bell icon and turn those notifications to all. Therefore, anytime we push out a video, anytime we go live, you will be notified. Really big buzz right now about this Aaron Rodgers injury, and this is arguably the biggest storyline heading into this aforementioned Sunday Night Football game. Is Aaron Rodgers seriously hurt? He has hinted recently that this thumb injury that's been giving him problems is somewhat serious. And does that change the overall outlook for this game? Because a lot of people who are in Wisconsin right now, they think that Aaron Rodgers is cooked. Some media types think that this is his last year with the Green Bay Packers, and they'd rather see, if they continue to lose, what Jordan Love can do to see if he can be that next guy as compared to Aaron Rodgers. One, if he's hurt, or two, if he's going to move on and they're going to be in need of a quarterback. But as for this Aaron Rodgers injury, coming off back-to-back MVP campaigns, he has not been as good this year. The thumb originally got hurt against the New York Giants in London back in October 6th. He did not look crisp last week against the Tennessee Titans. We've known Aaron Rodgers to have one of the best arms in the history of the NFL. That simple flick of the wrist, the ball flawlessly flies for 30, 40, 50 yards, and he's pinpoint accurate with a lot of his throws. That was not the case against Tennessee. Could that be because of an injury? The Packers 4-7, desperate for a win, and Aaron Rodgers in his career 4-2 all-time against Philadelphia. He did go on the Pat McAfee show, and of course, his good buddy Pat McAfee did poke and prod about that injury, and here's what Aaron Rodgers had to say about it. My thumb is what it is. It's been an issue since that Giants game, but it's not an issue that I'm going to rely on for an excuse or need to. I missed 2 throws. I probably hit 99 out of 100 times, and people wonder, what's going on? Nothing's changed week to week. Well, year to year, something has changed, Aaron Rodgers, because without Davante Adams, he hasn't been the same quarterback. Won MVP last year in 2021 by going 13-3, completed nearly 69% of his passes, yards per attempt 7.7. He chucked for more than 4,000 yards and threw an astounding 37 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. But this year, the record, not good. And a big reason for this, offensive line hasn't been as good. David Bakhtiari just can't seemingly stay healthy. The ground game hasn't been as good. A.J. Dillon has been in the witness protection program, and they have desperately missed Davante Adams. It's almost as if you trade one of the best wide receivers in the league away and don't replace him through free agency or the draft, that your offense is going to struggle, especially your quarterback. And that's what happened because his completion percentage is also down. Yards per attempt, a pretty telling numerical statistic, down from 7.7 to 6.8, so nearly a yard there. He's only thrown for 2,500 yards this year, 19 touchdowns to 4 picks. All year, He threw 4 last year. All year, he threw 4. And this year so far, 7. So he has really struggled. And for me, this is a great opportunity for this Eagles defense to rise up to the occasion. They have not played many elite quarterbacks this year. They got Kirk Cousins on primetime. They played Cooper Rush and not Dak Prescott. Against elite quarterbacks, you're going to have to face them in the playoffs. So I want to see what the Eagles can do against a desperate Aaron Rodgers-led Packers team when the lights are the brightest, when the Packers are desperate for a victory, and if Aaron Rodgers is playing to his MVP caliber self. I look at these Eagles numbers here. I want to see them prove to us that they are in fact legit, like these numbers do indicate, because they're second in yards allowed per game. They are first in takeaways, interceptions, and yards per play. Jonathan Gannon, if you sit back in that zone defense, Aaron Rodgers will have a field day. Dial up some blitzes, hit him with some multiple looks, try to confuse him so that guys like Hassan Reddick and Javon Hargrave are able to add on top of their 7+ sacks this year. So who you got in this football game? This is another one of our poll questions on today's show. Give me GB for the Green Bay Packers, PHI for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's grate some cheese on Sunday night. And if you hate the Packers and want to see the Eagles win, type FGB in the comment section right now. Before we continue to preview this matchup, today's show is presented by Established Titles. And holiday season is here, folks. Save an extra 10% off for the perfect and most unique holiday gift by heading to establishedtitles.com/chat. And in the process, you can grab a plot of Scottish land right next to your boy here. Established Titles, a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland right here while helping global reforestation efforts. It's a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds, lords, and ladies in English. You can buy title packs, which give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land in beautiful Scotland, as we're showing you. That also comes with a unique plot number on this private estate in Edelston, and that comes with an official certificate with the crest as well, like we're showing you right now. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. By making a purchase, you see how I'm referred to as Lord Chase Sr. here? You can include the title of Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, and dating profiles. Back in Philly for Thanksgiving, and I put Lord Chase Sr. on my plane ticket. You can do it as well. It makes for a great last-minute gift, and they're running a massive holiday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT on top of entering that link here to my right, establishedtitles.com/chat, you get an extra 10% off. Injury news for the Packers. We covered that with Aaron Rodgers. Let's cover it for Philadelphia. One of their interior defensive linemen, the big boy in the middle, Marlon Tuipulotu, could be lost for the rest of the regular season. Against the Commanders, it has been confirmed that he suffered a torn meniscus. And the Eagles knew that it was a knee injury at the time. They put him on IR originally, so they had an indication it could be serious, and I think that's why they signed Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph. So if they didn't make those acquisitions, the loss of Tui would certainly affect them and impact them to a greater degree. But with how well Suh and Linval Joseph played against the Colts, that's a great sign for the depth of this Eagles defense, with Jordan Davis expected to come back once he's cleared off of IR. You take a gander and a glance at the snap counts against the Colts. I was so surprised to see Suh play 17 snaps and then Linval Joseph play 26. You see who's dead last in snaps here on our graphic? Robert Quinn. He's been with this team for a couple of weeks, and he can't get more snaps than Ndamukong Suh as well as Linval Joseph. Fletcher Cox played 48. A lot less than playing 70 against Washington. He got exposed against the Commanders, but credit to him, he came back with a solid game. Javon Hargrave continues to be one of the best interior defensive linemen in the game. Josh Sweat, the Eagles sack artist. Brandon Graham has never sacked Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully he's able to do that in this football game. He had 29 snaps against the Colts, and really that game-winning play at the end with the sack of Matt Ryan, making up for that blunder of a penalty against Washington that, to his credit, shouldn't have been called last week. And then Milton Williams played good too. So the depth along this Eagles defensive line, they're going to have to show up, show out once again against Green Bay. My keys to the game here. Let's run through these for the Philadelphia Eagles to push that record to 10-1 and officially just make the Packers cooked. 6 turnovers the last 2 games for this Eagles offense. can't continue. And that is a recipe for disaster come playoff time. The Eagles heading into Washington, plus 15 in turnover differential. They had turned it over 3 times total heading into that game. In the last 2 weeks, they have doubled that amount of turnovers with 6. That is not a winning formula whatsoever. As for Christian Watson, last 2 games for the Packers, we talked earlier about them missing Davante Adams. They have. Well, if they had Davante Adams and a speed threat in Christian Watson, that would help out Aaron Rodgers. He's been cooking, though, the rookie product out of North Dakota State, who with the Bison, formerly the home of Carson Wentz, was famous for running a 4.3 40-yard dash at 6'5". He's combined for, 4 or 5 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. Can't allow him to get loose and take the top off of that defense. Going to be a good test there for C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps. This is another test for this Eagles rushing defense, which last week broke a streak of 5 consecutive games of giving up 100 or more rushing yards. Get to take on another really good running back in Aaron Jones. I want to see the Eagles' offensive philosophy and play calling change a little bit. I think the last 2 weeks, loss against Washington, close win, coming back, biggest comeback deficit in 12 years for Philly. They've gotten way too pass happy and way too reliant on Jalen Hurts to make plays with his legs. Take some pressure off Jalen Hurts and keep him healthy for this stretch run by running Miles Sanders more. This offensive line for the Birds has disappointed me a little bit, but get them confident, get them moving downhill, and run the football, which then gets their swagger and confidence up for when they drop back to pass protect for Hurts. And then lastly, A.J. Brown is due for a big game. He's been missing the last couple of weeks. Statistically, he's been ranked, according to 538, as the number 1 wide receiver in football on far fewer targets as compared to Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill, who were top 5 on that list, but he hasn't done anything the last 2 weeks. He was frustrated against Indy. Don't get frustrated. Pop off on Sunday Night Football. As for the Packers' defensive stats, this is how they rank and how this Eagles offense can expose Green Bay to come away with the dub. Points, 6 in the NFL, so pretty good numbers there. Sacks, they rank all the way down to 17. Turnovers, haven't been causing a lot of turnovers this year. That's why ball security is going to be at the utmost premium. Yards, 21st as well. Passing yards, they're pretty good against the pass. And going back to my original key, the Packers are not good against the rush. 28th in rushing yards allowed. So I want to see Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, as well as Kenny Gainwell go off on the ground. Rushing attempts. Teams know that the Packers can't stop the run. That's why they're 28th in attempts and rushing touchdowns, 18th. So bottom half of the league in those latter 3 categories. That's why it's important for Philadelphia to run that football right down the throats of the Green Bay Packers. Predict the score. Last question for the homies here. Green Bay Packers traveling to Lincoln Financial Field. It's always a sight at the link for some Sunday Night Football. Predict the score. Who you got? And another reminder, come hang out with us for our watch party. We'll be going live for a 30-minute pregame show starting at 7:50 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those noties. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving weekend, and I hope you all join us.